everyone, I am Tacet, and today I'm going to be going over the new troop of Mongo, as well as what its ability does and a couple of random teams with it. It was added mainly because they finished doing all of their databases. They are all now completely switched. And its flavor text even is kind of reminiscent of that. Mongo is the old database system that they were running on. And of course, some of you may have even seen this exact error in the past. Your Mongo database is unavailable. So this troop is kind of just like a little funny troop, kind of like that. Almost like a little April Fool's thing, or kind of. Don't really know what to make of it. It's supposed to be like a funny troop. And it just gave it to free to everyone earlier today. One thing to note is that this troop is not actually in the drop table right now, but pretty average statted. The main thing that's kind of gimmicky about it is the fact that it is so random. As far as traits, it has double the stunned, has big, impervious. The main thing on it is impervious, though you really should not actually trait this troop. It is really bad to do so. You're better off just trading up a Gorgotha or a Great Maul, or even just a Dust Devil or something, literally anything other than this. If you need something that's brown-yellow with impervious, just go with Lil Johnny. He's a lot better than this. But as far as the random crash, something random happens. Well, what exactly does that do? Well, here is the full list of everything that does. So, the first thing to notice here is that it is based on his magic. His magic +2, whatever number you see all the way up here in the top corner here. For every single one of those 6, it'll do whatever the magic is +2. It'll do one of the random 6, and it will either give a random stat to himself, give a random stat to all allies, deal that much damage to a random enemy, deal that much damage to all enemies, either reduce the stats of all enemies. It'll just do a random one, either their attack, HP, armor, or magic, or it'll just destroy a however much his magic is amount of gems. So it'll do any one of those 6 that you see over there. So definitely really random. It's kind of very similar to that of the treasure chest thing that was added from Blackhawk. And the only difference is it doesn't actually show it on the card, because to add that much text, as you see over to the left there, would be a little bit hard to fit on this little card here. So we're going to be going over 2 random teams with him, and with random I mean using literally all troops that do random related stuff. Neither of these teams are meant to be viable. They're just for fun and just kind of messing around with him. The troop in general isn't really that viable to begin with. I'm just going to be messing around with it on a various team that we can actually hopefully beat it with. I might need to go into casual to actually be able to get a battle here. I'm pretty sure most of these will be a little bit too strong for us to deal with. Deep Bore, Black Manacles, I think we could handle that with this. So we're going to go with the Mongo either or. We're starting it with this one. Mimic was the one I was referring to earlier. I didn't remember its name off the top of my head. But it's basically like a Mimic, except it actually doesn't show what it does, whereas Mimic, it does. And of course, it's all the either or stuff. Every single one of these is the either or. He has it even though he doesn't say it. Of course, this one has it, even says it. This one has it, and this one. It's every single troop that has one of those either or functions on it. So we'll be using this, kind of just messing around with it, and doing all the randomness that it has attached to it. It's going to be definitely interesting how this will pan out. He has a pretty good chance of actually beating us. Bombots are a lot of damage, and hopefully if he does get a Devour off, it'll hit our one troop that has impervious, which of course is the Mongo. Also, I keep calling him Mango instead of Mongo. I have no clue how many times I've done that already. During the stream, I think I did it at least a dozen. Pretty sure I did it during this recording as well, at least twice probably. But yeah, it's Mongo. It's Mango. It's one of them. Mango, Mongo, whatever. One of them. It's not the fruit. Let's see. Well, let's go on purple. Get up the Mimic. So we can do one and then the other. So let's see what one of those 6 he ends up doing. So we'll throw that down. And he ended up giving himself 19 HP. So yeah, because it gives 2 more onto whatever its magic is, which is a 19. And that was the random stat. One of his weaker ones, unless that happens to hit on magic. Let's see what the Mimic will do. Go, Devour. Okay, explosions. That's actually not too bad because we have a little bit of board control with that. This automatically gains an extra turn, so let's see what that gets. 17 damage to all enemies. Not bad, not bad. We'll be able to take that, get some skulls, and be able to cast it again. One pretty good thing about the Nalbin brothers right there is we actually got some damage on the bomb bots, so we're not going to have to worry about the bomb bots as much with their high damage. He didn't get a devour, so that's pretty good. Let's see what he does this time as far as his random thing, and that was the random stat. He gave 19 attack to those two and 19 magic to the other two. These bomb bots are hitting us with quite a bit of damage. Luckily, that will not be enough to actually kill us for a little bit. Probably gonna start getting Mimic up a little bit. There's really no need to use this Hag. She's actually really weak. The only thing I might aim her at is the hero and hope it turns into a toad, so we don't really have to deal with it. Other than that, there isn't much we can really do with her. Looks like we're about to lose the Mongo, I mean. I'm already calling it Mango again. We'll go over there, get both of them up. Hopefully he does Bombot instead. Okay, well that's not good. Luckily, he did not get a Devour off, and it looks like, as predicted, we will lose a horrible death unless it devours. Okay, good. No, it's not good. Normally, that would be slightly good, but magic buff in a time like this is not good. And that is the randomness of randomness. Now, let's go into the other ones. Of course, these are just for fun. I'll probably be messing around with a couple other random build stuff. Maybe we should fight someone who we have like a guaranteed chance now. That would be way too easy. The only problem is there's like no really like mid-range one. Maybe if we go into our casual right here. There we go. Here's a little bit more towards mid-range. So let's do this with our other random one. Orion, Cratharn 666, Mango Mongo, and the Baby Dragon. All of which, of course, do many random things. Actually, the Oh, what is this thing's nickname? I keep forgetting it. It has a much easier name than what that is. But this is actually literally the most random troop in the game. It deals a random amount of damage to a random enemy, increasing a random skill, and a 50% chance to jumble the board. On top of that, it has even more randomness with the Jinx and the Death Touch. The only thing that's not random on his is the Defender bonus and the fact that it's always an 8 instead of like something like a 3 to 10 or something or whatever. But yeah, he's the most random troop in the entire game. Never actually viable, but of course, many of the troops that we are using right now are not really ever viable. With the exception being maybe Baby Dragon and Orion in this team. Orion actually was the first really RNG randomness character ever added into this game. As far as when this game originally started, Orion was basically the only one that had randomness to him for the most part. Which is kind of interesting. He's got a little bit buffed over the years, but still more towards the weaker side. The only thing that really makes him particularly strong is his legendary trait, and that's about it. So let's see what our randomly hitting dragon will randomly transform into. Oh, Rainbow Snake! We got that Rainbow Snake. Okay, also if audio is slightly different, is it because my headphones actually just broke today? So, I don't have my headphones like muffling out my own voice. So I don't know if I'm actually talking lower, higher, or what, but I'm probably talking slightly different than what I normally do because I can actually fully hear myself, so, yeah, that might change it slightly. Anyways, let's see if we can get, the Mango up, Mongo. I will call it as many different things as possible, without even trying. Well, we'll go and do, whoa. Wait, why didn't it do anything to that? Oh, it probably did an armor reduction, that's why. But it ended up reducing magic from everything else. It does do a random one per, it doesn't just pick a stat and then do it to all of them. But of course, if they don't have any armor, it won't reduce anything, unfortunately. Like we just saw there. Okay, so let's see if we can actually do something useful. The most useful thing you could possibly do is buff up all allies or deal damage to all enemies. Are the two best things you could possibly do. And of course, he just randomly upgrades the worst stat in the entire game. Good job. Yeah, I know when I was testing on stream, he tends to do the most useless things at the most useless times possible. Definitely do not use this troop. Do not trade it, do not use... Well, you can use it for fun, but do not trade it. It is an absolute waste of trait stones and waste of souls to put anything into it. Kind of just like one of those fun troops to use. Kind of like what Mimic was, and a few others. Okay, so that would definitely be a kill with Orion, even if that didn't true damage. With just the Hunter's Mark would have been way more than enough. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little bit more mana. Ideally, we want a little bit of purple here. I guess we'll go for this and go for the most random ability there is. He'll get a Hellcat off. we actually don't use red anymore because of our baby dragon transforming. So unfortunately, he keeps doing all this red. There's nothing I can really do for it. I could take green right here, but I'm going to try for the purple. Because I want to deny some of his reds as well, just to reduce his chance of getting an extra turn. Like right there, he ended up, oh, never mind, he still ended up getting one, but at least we reduced it slightly. We did end up reducing that thing's magic to 0 earlier, so all it's doing is its 3 base damage, which is pretty much nothing. So we don't have to worry about that anymore, which is good. We'll just take that purple, get both of those abilities up. We'll do the extremely random ability, and then we'll throw out the rainbow snake. So we'll do this. Let's see what it does. Okay, ends up... Wow, actually, that's probably one of the best things it could have done. Surprised we actually got good RNG for once. That's something it normally doesn't do. It hit mid-ranged, and it gave itself magic, which is, as far as stat gains, that's about the best thing it could be giving to itself. So let's get some random gems on the board. Oh, that's funny. Even the Quaidle... the Rainbow Snake Quaidle thing that we end up summoning even does something random. That's funny. Even the baby dragon transformed into something that does something else that's completely random. That is perfect. Thank you, Rainbow Snake. You, out of everything you could have summoned too, that's like one of the only dragons that's excessively random. Maybe Venoxia too, you could kind of consider somewhat random. Let's see. What else do we do here? We just take brown. Not that brown though.
Mana surge.
Alright, so he's going to create some yellow, hopefully misses and gives us 4 times or 5 times. Well, I guess a pair is better than nothing. Take that, get both of them up. Orion we could do for the kill, but I think we'll go for the randomness. This is randomness. Why go for something that's consistent? That's the whole point of this. Okay, so we get a magic reduction, an HP reduction, and an armor reduction on no armor, so it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. Let's see. We could throw this down. How unlucky could we be? Do you think this will not hit? Let's see, we could do either of those two. I have a feeling if I do this on Hellcat, I would have such an excessively bad luck that it wouldn't even kill. Let's see. Would this have done 3 to 5? That would have been hilarious. Let's see if it actually gets a kill. No. Okay, it would have actually been enough to kill the Hellcat. Aw, that would have been enough. Barely, though. Only a 7. Okay. So, what do we need now? Will we be able to do it with one more random ability for the win? Hopefully one of those two can do it, because they have random abilities that could actually not kill it. Oh, perfect. Let's just take this. I don't think that's going to kill him. Good. Oh, don't kill him. Okay, so let's not take that skull. Let's do it based on this random. It will do anywhere from 3 to 39. Will it actually hit at least 15? More than a 50% chance it will. And it does. And it gets another magic buff. Wow, that's actually some decent luck on him for once. Normally I don't get that lucky with him. But there we go. There are the 2 extremely randomness teams with the random troop. And I'm doing this at 2 a.m., so there goes the event thing. So, yeah. It's basically everything with the new Mongo troop. Mongo. Anyways, if you have any other questions about him, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Just as a reminder again, there are all of the things on screen as to what he does. Of course, he does a random 1 out of those 6 every single time. The amount of damage or the effectiveness of it is based on his magic plus 2. I was trying to do him with humilities earlier. And it was kind of funny. It wasn't really working out that well. You're better off just trying to humility pretty much anything else other than that. But kind of a fun trip to mess around with. Definitely do not trade it. He is not in the drop pool right now, so don't bother even trying to get more copies of him either. Kind of just one of those fun troops to use and then kind of forget about after a while. But yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for watching and have a wonderful weekend.